Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So, pretty much still moving to the downside here. We did reject the area here. We'll get down to lower time frames, but we did reject this level that we were talking about, which is 12.884. For me at the moment, we are sideways. Look to the left. This is kind of the upper and lower levels, and the lower level here, 12.600, 12.609. Clear downtrend. We are in a downtrend on the 8-hour. You can see the crossover, the moving averages. They're all pointing down. The only concern I've got here is have a look at our oscillators. They are forming higher lows, while price has formed lower lows. Even this one was a lower low. So that is diversion. So when we see diversions within some sort of a pattern, so normally a flag or a range or something like that, that's typically an indication that we have a potential bottom forming, and that's basically what we have here. What can happen is we can drop below 12.609. Oscillators can drop below these lows, which would then just give us just nullify the diversions. So obviously we need to wait for structure, and the structure we need to wait for it to break is 12.884. So with all of that in the back of your head, and you start looking at price action, we can see clear range at the moment, bottom and top. We know that. We're in a downward trend. We also know that. We've got a crossover of the oscillators pointing to the downside. So logically, we should be aiming for the bottom of the range at the moment. When we look at the 1 hour, look at what happened yesterday. We don't really have any structure forming, so we did get above the faster moving averages, and we bounced off the top here, but basically just hung around here. So not something that would have been easy to trade. I definitely didn't even look at this yesterday. And the other thing that you need to pay attention to at the moment is oscillators on the hour are grouped to the downside, and we are sort of, I won't say we're in an area of support, because there is nothing here apart from that swing low, but we are below that at the moment. So this after hours chaos here, which is almost what percent, so 0.7%, I suspect we're going to come back up to this area. So this was a triangle. It was a break of the triangle. More than likely let's just get the height of this triangle, the 197 points. 227 points, so fairly close to what that measured move would be. This is sideways, guys. It's nothing that I really want to be trading. It's a sign of confusion. We've got quite a few central bankers talking today across Europe and the US. So since this is inflation driven at the moment, and the fear of inflation which is driving this, you're probably going to find people just waiting to see what the politicians are going to be saying today, and not something I really want to be trading, to be honest. I suppose if you are feeling forced to trade this, you've probably got an opportunity here, but then you've got a gap here. Your stop area is going to be right above 12,945, so that would be my stop area, which gives me a 67-point stop loss. But then what I'm looking for is I'm aiming for, just get this, I'm aiming for 84 points here, so I'm aiming for 12,700, and then I'm also aiming for 12,611. So that's kind of the only structure that I can see at the moment. But if we get another day like this, it's really difficult. I mean, you spend the whole day finding support on the 155, but then moving down, making lower highs all the time, and then eventually when the market closes, volumes are low, boom, we drop below this. So I don't see this dropping further at the moment, so you're probably going to find us rally back up this area, close a gap, and then see what happens. See if we can continue this trend from this downward trend from yesterday. I doubt we'll be moving the upward trend, but the reality with this situation is price should come back and test the apex of this triangle, and have a look where the apex is, right up by the gap. So I would expect price to come back up here. You start getting inside bars, engulfing bars, pin bars in this area, during the open, then expect to move down. If we get above it and find support above it, that just confirms a range, and you should be looking for the top of the range here, which will be at 12,884. And that is very typical of the DAX when we are confused. We go into a range, and you can start, depending how well structured the range is, but you can actually just bet your bottom dollar on where the bottom of the range is, where your stop area is, and then you trade off the bottom, trade off the top, especially on a range which is extending over a few days, which this is what it is looking like is going to be happening. Okay, so that's kind of my view at the moment. I'm not really keen on chasing short at the moment, specifically based on the 8-hour, and I'm really not keen on chasing longs either because I don't see any triggers for longs. So at the moment for me, we are range bound. We need to start breaking this range one way or another. Start getting up above 12,884, then I am definitely starting to look for opportunities to buy into it. You can see that would break all our moving averages as well. Okay, so that's kind of my confused outlook for today. Definitely don't like jumping in when there's no clear signals, and that's pretty much what's happening today. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.